Great. For the corner.
And throw it over. Go, move.
Hi, I'm Judy Dietlifs from Adgraphics. Thank you for inviting us to be part of your training event. We've been communicating health, safety, environment, quality and risk since 2005, and we've developed games, we do signage, and we do induction videos specific to mostly food factories, so we are grateful to be invited. We would appreciate your consideration as we would like to protect our IP at this stage. We are in the process of slowly developing more and more games, and it does take a lot of time, so we would ask that nobody photograph any of the games and that they wouldn't share that without our knowledge and permission. Thank you and enjoy your event. This is part of the Spills event equipment. There's a video, there's this crossword, oversized team effort, and there's the floor mat. The clues are in here, and the questions are over here, and it shouldn't take very long to fill this in. Wipe it down and have the next group come through. Hi, this is the Spills game. So you need a broom from your site out of your spill kit. You have liquid and this spade. And then what happens is you have two players in one team. Their objective is to make the least amount of spillage possible. It's very hard for people to resist giving it a good whack, but the more they do that, the more penalties they're going to get. And in reality, spills are possibly inevitable, but the amount of damage it does just escalates the bigger the spill is. So the training on this game is that two people, well, how it works is that two people are opposite each other. One has a broom on the other side and they have to knock it over, but the object is to make the smallest amount of spill possible. The inclination is that people will want to hit things hard and they end up with a bigger penalty or fine, in this case, for the wider the spill goes. Using the equipment from the spill kit, or an example of that, we're going to have a trial run. They get one practice run of knocking this off gently. Spills are inevitable sometimes, and in this case we're just going to practice doing the smallest spill possible. The penalties are forfeits. They need to walk around a block or do push-ups or something if they get outside of the blue area. So practice away. Okay, she's fine, she's safe of penalties. Now we try with water. That's the road.
Just like that?
Yeah. Oh! So we are way out and we need to do penalties for that. So how this works is that if a nose and toes is affected in a small spill, it's a 10,000 Rand penalty, and the two people need to do nose and toes, touch their nose and toes, because those would be the things affected by a spill. Okay, the broader spillage would be the tortoise, that would affect your land, and that's 10 million Rand. Tilapia would be the next level that's affected, of a 100,000 Rand penalty for damages to the rivers. So the penalty is the next area affected would be represented by the tortoise, which would be your environment, the land, all the land around the site, and that would be 10 million Rands penalties. The next area of spillage would be the Tarantal, as in the sky. That is 100 million penalty. So if a spillage does go all the way to the ocean, to the turtles, the damages and penalties could exceed R1 billion and ultimately end up shutting the company. This is the road safety or safe travel game. It's about distractions, alcohol and drugs. So the idea is that a person would leave home safely, would journey and experience many distractions. We offer 6 and they would need to take at least 3 of those and apply them, and then they take a turn at the end of the day, sample some drugs or alcohol and then navigate to get home safely, or as safely as they can. So the items we use in this game, the coordinator of the game initially would need to discuss this and say, how do you drive? Are you distracted? Do you drink en route home sometimes? And then the goal is to experience that. So the glasses, as they start the event, they would need to step onto the start button on the game. They would get handed their first item, which would be these red sunglasses. They have designs in them. One is for navigation, so that looks like a Google Maps on that lens. And then on the other lens would be the alcohol experience. So because there were no glasses like this available, we've created some, but in future we do have some that are waiting in Germany to come. So next time we play this game, we'll be able to do it properly. But in the meantime, what they do is put the glasses on and hold one hand in front of the experience they are not having at the time. Right, so you've got 6 options. Which one would you start with? Or which 3 are you likely to use on a daily basis?
Definitely cell phone, definitely lipstick, and something to drink.
Right, so you are distracted looking for navigation, and you need to walk between the yellow lines, and I'll hand you one at a time.
Okay.
So, swing around. Right, which one do you
Yeah,
do first?
lipstick.
Lipstick, cool. Okay, no.
And
Hold one hand over the blurry one for the alcohol, so you see your lip, that's it. Right, so next, cell phone or drinking. Cell phone. Keep going. Whoa, can you see where you're going? So drinking on the corner, yes, nearly finished. Well done. Okay, now change hands and see what that feels like to be drunk. And here's your bottle.
my bottle.
Right. Yeah. 2 300 Rand fines there and 2 nights in jail.
Oh, no.
Moving vehicles is a big hazard on sites. So we've created this game that gives people an experience as a pedestrian and a forklift driver, or both. The objective is to get back to your base or your office without crossing demarcated lines. The yellow areas are, as you cross over a yellow area, then you are either injured or you have a fatality. So how this is played, either by 4 or 8, the pedestrians go on the outer ring of the property, of the factory, and the vehicles go on the inside, and you get a turn each to go from home base, your matching corresponding colour, back to home. And whoever does that is obviously the winner. So if you're coordinating this game, you would give each player their respective pedestrian or forklift. They're a team, or that could be one player. They would then flick in the direction that the arrow goes in, that's home base, and they would have to stay within the lines. If they cross over, they're injured. If the disc lands up fully over the yellow line, they are dead and they're out of the game. The same applies to the vehicle. If the vehicle is flicked and it goes over a yellow line, it has been damaged, so that's destruction of property. But if it ends up being flicked right over a yellow line, that vehicle is a write-off, and then they're out the game. So they miss a turn if they go onto a yellow line. If they go through the yellow line, they're out the game. Here I am heading through the she department. Oh, I'm out the game already. This is the working at heights game. It's played like snakes and ladders with a dice, and you go ascending to the final block in green with information the whole way, some lessons learned, a clinic, and sometimes in these games you get kicked out for various misdemeanors. So each player then would select a colour, they throw the dice, and that's how the game goes.